Look, this is called the flexor carpi radialis, and it also attaches to the index finger. This means that once your index finger is fixed, it originates from the ulnar side and inserts on the radial side. So once your index finger is pressed down, the medial side of your elbow joint becomes stable. And over here, this is the short flexor muscle of the fingers. This is the superficial flexor muscle, and this is the deep flexor muscle. Then the superficial flexor muscle, you will find that it also attaches to the ulnar side. This means that the stability of the medial side of your elbow joint is controlled by the outer four fingers. In other words, if your outer four fingers lack strength, the medial side of your elbow joint is likely to become unstable. Do you understand? This is golfer's elbow. People with golfer's elbow need to train the stability, gripping ability, and pressing ability of these four fingers. When you tighten here, the medial side of your elbow joint becomes stable, rather than constantly dealing with medial epicondylitis and pressing or needling the medial epicondyle. Why does it become inflamed? Because it keeps wobbling, it's unstable. And if you keep using your thumb forcefully, you won't be able to stabilize the medial side. All right, then look at this. This one does not cross the elbow joint, while this one does, it crosses the elbow joint. And then, when you do the anatomy, you'll find that the superficial flexor and the deep flexor of the fingers have significant differences. Generally, the little finger and the index finger form a pair, and the middle ones form another pair. These two contract first, and then these two contract afterwards. That is to say, after these two contract, the little finger and the index finger squeeze it, adducting it, which makes it stronger. So, a single tendon does not control two adjacent fingers like this. It's not like that. It is controlled in an interlaced manner. These two form a group. The ring finger and the middle finger form another group. After these two tighten first, the outer two tighten and then clamp it. All fingers must adduct together when exerting force to stabilize. The thumb also adducts, as do the other four fingers, to maintain stability. What does that mean? I want to tell you that if you want to clench your fist tightly, first these two fingers should tighten, then the index finger and the little finger should tighten, and finally the thumb should lock in. Only then can your fist be clenched tightly. Can you understand? Very few people tell you these things, and you just assume that clenching like this means it's tight. That's not the case. You can't clench tightly like that. If you clench directly like this, it won't be tight. These two fingers should be clenched. These two should be squeezed together. Then the index and middle fingers should press down. And finally, the thumb should press down on these two sections. At this point, your fist is clenched the tightest, and it won't slip away. So when we do dissection, everything you see is different from what you see in your anatomy book. In your anatomy book, you see that four tendons control this separately. No, they are separated in pairs. And it's not that the ones you imagine to be close together control it. No, they cross over to control it, which makes more sense. Because once you clench these two, and then I squeeze the middle of these two together and clench again, it becomes more stable. If these two of mine are together, and those two are together, it loses the function of inward contraction. It loses the function of clamping. Even though they are all flexor muscles, they are divided like this. Let me show you further down, and then this one is responsible for extension. This one is responsible for extension. This is the extensor digitorum, and this is the extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis. Then what am I showing you? Look, where is its point of action? It's also on the index finger, also on the index finger. So after your index finger is pressed down, the stability of your ulnar side and the stability of your radial side are both related to it. In other words, if your elbow joint hurts, the index finger is much more important than the thumb. Whether it's golfer's elbow or tennis elbow, your index finger is more important than your thumb. Because basically, the muscles on the ulnar and radial sides are all attached to the index finger. The thumb is also controlled by the index finger. When your index finger is pressed down, your thumb can be retracted. However, many symptoms manifest in the thumb, in the medial epicondyle of the humerus, and in the lateral epicondyle of the humerus. Because you don't understand the principles behind them, you can't practice well, and you can't perform acupuncture well either. You can only alleviate the symptoms. If you understand these things, even if it originally hurts, I can directly practice with it, and it will immediately stop hurting. I can directly practice with it, and it will immediately stabilize. Because I know how to specifically activate and suppress it. By pressing on certain parts of your fingers, I can quickly improve such issues. Then, if you don't understand this problem, you won't be able to lift weights properly. You simply can't hold the dumbbell. You can't hold it. Once you hold it, it easily slips away. It keeps turning. Okay, you will find that, look, these are all on the radial side, all on the radial side. The extensor carpi radialis longus, extensor carpi radialis brevis, and this is the extensor carpi ulnaris. You will find that none of these extend to the thumb. So the inner and outer sides of your elbow joint are never stabilized or controlled by your thumb. Your thumb helps stabilize your index and middle fingers, and your index and middle fingers determine whether the thumb can assist. Once you understand their logical relationship, you can know how to practice in a targeted way. Don't just treat the pain where it hurts or press where it hurts. It's just the result manifesting there. Once you understand this logic, you can directly improve the issue through a series of exercises. Later on, I will teach you some training exercises. The simplest training is that you can support. Let me tell you, when you practice, what should you start with? Start with these two fingers, the index and middle fingers. Once these two fingers are well trained, your thumb will naturally improve. No need to cut. I'll take you to train right away. Okay, I'll first teach you how to test these functions to see if they are normal. For example, let me measure your four outer hands first. Your outer four fingers. Your outer four fingers determine the stability of the inner and outer sides of your elbow joint. For example, when making a fist, the muscles for extension are on the radial or ulnar side. Clenching tightly also tightens these muscles and the flexors, affecting your precision grip. The stability of the elbow joint is involved. No need, right? Then how do I teach you? Then I'll teach you how to make a fist. First, you start with the index and ring fingers and then see if you can just press down. You first simply do it like this. Do it like this, then like this. Then like this. And when you do this, I'll tell you how to tighten these two fingers. You gently and with great force spread the other three fingers outward and it will tighten. Can you understand? Then look at your two finger pads. See if you can press them firmly against your palm without any gaps. Forcefully spread these three outward. Is that okay? Press down, and you'll find there's a big difference between your two hands. The side that can't press down well will have poor arm lines and dimensions. This is the first step. Can you press it down? Forcefully spread it open. Straighten it out. It feels very sore, like you're about to cramp, right? Because you haven't practiced, right? You haven't practiced. Then after tightening these two, tighten these two more, and it will be strong. Then when you tighten these four together, it's like this. Look, where are you pressing these four fingers? Press them at the position of your scissors. After pressing, forcefully spread your thumb outward and then tighten all four fingers. Can you do it? Can you tighten them? Then press each fingertip tightly and forcefully spread the thumb open. From the side view, it should be straight. Spread it like this, spread it like this. Can you tighten them? Then when you practice, it's like this. Look, these four fingers of yours don't move. They become like this. 1, 2. You moved your thumb, but in reality, you're practicing the four fingers. Did you see that?